I know where I'm going if I quit. Here's the thing when it comes to, well, changing your life, building out something new, becoming the greatest version of you. There is going to come a point where you want to quit, where you start to question, is it worth it? What am I doing this for? What's the point of giving all this effort if I'm not seeing the results that I want? And more often than not, I find that's usually when you're on the brink of the breakthrough, when you're on the brink of everything coming in to fruition. These are the moments where, well, you find out what really matters and what you're willing to do for it. But as I said at the start, it's also really easy to quit. It's really easy to call it a day on that, especially on big changes like that. Because, well, if you quit, you know exactly where you're going to end up. If you quit, you know that outcome. You've been there before. That's the life you've been living. You go back to doing what you were doing before. You go back to the life that, well, you hated and you already got there. But that life is safe. That life is known. You know exactly how that feels and what obstacles you're going to face and the things that you're going to have to deal with. Well, that life is easy. At least in the perception of your world. You might hate it. You might be disgusted with the man in the mirror. You might be devastated and frustrated and pissed off about what's going on. But you know exactly what it looks like. And there's comfort and comfortability and ease in knowing how it's going to play out. But to continue pushing is to push into the unknown. And that's one of the things that we as humans are most scared of, is the unknown. The things that we can't see or know or quantify. We hope that this outcome's better than where we're at, and all logic dictates that it should be, but we don't actually know. And that can be scary as hell. So if you quit, you know exactly where you'll end up. And it's why we must double down. Why we must do more work. Why we must figure it the fuck out. Why we must revert back to, this is why I'm doing this. And I don't know about you, but for me as a father, that's for my kids. It's for my wife. And there's a bit of, for you, for the people I serve, the people I'm here to help. It's for them as well. To make that difference. To make a proper change. And to impact the way I need to impact. And I'm at a crossroads. I'm not going to lie. I am at a point where there is logical sense in, should I continue what I'm doing? And that's the reality of it. The question is, should I continue? And the answer is absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Because, well, on the other side is everything I want. I know that this is what I'm called to. I know that this is what I'm meant to do. I know that this is where I'm meant to be in this life. So yeah, I need to figure it the fuck out. But it's at these points where you reach crossroads of, you're doing the work, but are you doing the work? The gap between, yeah, you're showing up and you're ticking the box and you're giving it a bit, but are you doing the things that'll actually move the needle? This comes back to that comfortability. You know what will happen if you quit. It's also within that of, you know where you'll be if you continue down this same path. If you don't change, well, you can say that you're doing the work. You can feel good about yourself and be like, yeah, I'm doing stuff. But the difference between the work and doing the work is where the results lie. We've discussed a few times that there's, you need intensity and consistency. The problem is most people will trade consistency. They'll trade intensity for consistency. They lose the intensity of it because it's hard. It's a hard mission to continuously give absolutely fucking everything for an unknown outcome. That is a difficult thing to do. And even if we're talking business, if we're talking relationships, if we're talking health and fitness, overall what should happen. But there's no guarantee. But there's also no reward without risk. There's no growth without an attempt. There's no trophy. Well, there is in some sports, but there fucking shouldn't be. And that's a rant for another day. But there's no participation trophies in life. There's no, well, you tried. Good fucking job. No, you actually have to show up, give it everything you fucking have, and win. You have to win at life to get the results. You have to win at life to get the rewards. You don't get rewarded for just showing the fuck up. That's not how this works. And I think that's why a lot of people don't see the results they want. And especially in health and fitness, especially in the physique department. Like, how many people do you know, and maybe you don't know them, but I've certainly fucking known them, that go to the gym every week. And they work out very consistently. And they look exactly the same. Year on, year out. Nothing changes. And it's not a consistency issue. It's not that they're not showing up. It's not that they're not trying. It's an intensity issue and potentially a programming issue. But more often than not, as I've said before, I think you'll get way more bang for your buck even in a shitty as program with just maximum fucking intensity than you will with a perfect program where you're just kind of like, I did it. I went to the gym. Yay me. Like, you need to truly give intensity. You need to leave that workout going, I fucking sent it. Like, I left it all on the field. There was nothing more that I could have given in this point. If you give that kind of intensity long term, you are guaranteed to succeed. You are guaranteed to see phenomenal fucking results. Unquestionably. But you should be improving all the time. You should be getting better all the time. You shouldn't be looking identical year in, year out. Like, putting in all that effort to stay the same is one of the craziest things ever. That's why, like, when people quit, I don't understand it. Because I'm like, you literally put in effort, sacrificed, spent time, money, sweat, effort, all of it to stay the same. That is a fucking wild concept. And yet it's the norm. Like, that's just normal. Yo-yoing and in and out of weight loss especially is just considered part and parcel of the fitness industry. People don't really bat an eyelid at it. And it's just fucking unacceptable. You need to go into this that you're going, I'm going to fucking change. I'm going to achieve phenomenal fucking results. And then I'm going to get better results. And then I'm going to get better results. And I'm going to get better results. Like, my goal is to get better every single year. Every single fucking year. I want to make the last year look like a piece of shit. I want to look back and go, wow, I can't believe I was that guy. And then the next year be like, wow, I can't believe I was that guy. And just continually do that. And look, I am well aware that at some point that will cap out. But it doesn't mean you change the modality. It doesn't mean you don't you change how you're showing up. No, you just keep showing the fuck up. You just keep showing up and doing that work. Because that's how you improve. Yeah, you might not be able to shatter new records every single year. You might not be able to leave the old you in the dust. But you can keep improving. And you can choose different areas to continue to keep improving. You know, I want to be in the greatest fucking shape for the rest of my life. Like, I've made the mistake. I've made the mistake of sacrificing, giving effort, doing all the stuff, and then I quit. And I ended up not only back where I started, but worse off. And that shit is fucking devastating. I don't know how people keep doing it year on and year out. Like, I've done it too many times already, and it fucking gut punches me. It wrecks me emotionally. Every time I'm like, how the fuck did I fall this far? How the fuck did I let it get this bad? It's like I said at the start, the answer is because I know where I end up if I quit. I'm not sure what happens if I keep chasing this. I'm not sure where I end up if I keep going down this path. But at the same point, I'm sure as shit not going to be happy if I continue to stay where I am. Like, that's the other side of it. I know if I continue where I'm at, that, well, I'm going to be miserable as shit. So yeah, I reach that crossroads. And I'm like, well, it's either double down, go harder, push for more, and actually pull this off, or call it a quits and a pipe dream. But call it quits and a pipe dream is not a fucking option. No way under the sun. And not just because, well, I think it would emotionally destroy me. And this is not talking about fitness, by the way, but it would emotionally destroy me to give up on something that means that much to me. I don't think I'd recover. I don't think I'd come out of it. I think I would burn my life to the ground. And you need to recognize when you reach those crossroads that actually matter. That you have to jump 2 feet in. You can't have, as we discussed before, you can't have 1 foot either side. You can't have a foot in the past and a foot in the future. You can't keep reading the previous chapter and expect to start the new chapter of your life. You can't do that. You have to jump full throttle, head first, into the next phase of your life, and just accept that you will figure it the fuck out. Trust who you are to figure it the fuck out as you do it. And so I know that I have to. I know that I have to make this a reality. I know that there's been a lot of talk with a little bit of walking, a little bit of action, but not enough action. Because, well, I'm stuck in the past. I've still got at least 1 foot firmly planted in the past, trying to hold on to that because it's safe and it's comfortable and it's easy, and I know exactly what the outcome is, and I know how to play that game, and I'm very good at playing that game. And so I want to continue staying comfortable, but comfortable never achieved greatness. Comfortable never achieves anything. Comfortable doesn't build a life that you are fucking stoked to participate in. But it's also why most people hate their fucking lives. It's also why most people never achieve anything of value or of note, because, well, it's really fucking scary to step outside of that comfort zone of what's known and what's easy, and take a risk on yourself, take a flyer on yourself to be that guy, to figure it out once you've gone head first into it. That's scary as shit. But it's required. And like everything, I bring it back to my kids. And it's not just required because I think it would eat away at my soul. And I think that's what's been happening for probably a decade. It's just this slow eradication of my soul because I'm not doing what I know I'm meant to be doing. Not living as the man I know I'm meant to be living as. And so it just eats away at you. But more than that, if I quit because, well, it was uncomfortable, it was confronting, it was nerve-wracking to put myself out on that ledge and take that leap of faith, if I call it quits on that, how can I look my babies in the eye and be like, you can be anything, you can do anything, you can chase your dreams, nothing is impossible, but oh, by the way, Dad quit on his dreams. Dad quit on the things that mattered to him. Dad didn't step into the man he knew he should be, but you could totally do it. Like, go you. It's the most insincere thing you could ever do. One of the concepts that plagues my thought processes quite frequently is that your children will figure you the fuck out at some point. And one day they will work out who you truly are. You'll stop being their hero, their first love, their idol, the infallible daddy. One day they'll work out who you are as a person. And I pray to God on that day, when they work out who I am the man that I can see in me. That I am the man that they believed me to be. That their faith wasn't misplaced. That it wasn't all falsehoods, it wasn't an illusion. That their dad is actually that fucking man. And what he says, they can take to the bank. That what he says is true, and that he led by example, and he was that man that showed up and did what was required. He chased his dreams, he continued to do it, and he did it for them. That's what I hope. I hope that on that day they realize that I am everything I said I was. Because it is shattering to realize that your father is not the man you thought he was. And it's something I hope my children will never, ever have to go through. Because you don't want to have to, rewire your thought processes and thinking, because you realize that though well-intended, though out of love and kindness, but your father was a fucking liar, a fraud. All those things that he taught you on how to live life, well, he didn't actually live them. That's something I hope my children will never go through. So yeah, when I reach these points and I'm faced with these things, I realize that I have to just work it out. That I just have to do the work and face it head on. That though it is confronting, I must do it. And you must as well. You must face those demons head on. And it's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be easy, but you need to do it. And it starts with facing the man in the mirror. It starts with looking at the man in the mirror, looking at him dead in the eye, and taking the actions to become fucking proud of him. To be proud of the man looking back at you. And that starts with building the physique. And that's not egotistical, it's not vain, it's reality. Confidence starts with a great fucking physique. Confidence starts with keeping your word to yourself. Confidence starts with doing the work that's required regardless of your mood. That's where we begin. So let's get you into that. Let's get you into my Chasing Greatness 6-week fitness challenge. 6 weeks to start transforming the man in the mirror, to start revealing the man you know you should be, a man you can be proud of, a man your children can be proud of and your wife can be proud of. Let's start doing the work in that 6 weeks, all fucking in, to be the greatest version of yourself. It's all fitness, it's all done for you, all accountability, and you will be a different man on the other side. So if you are ready to do that, click the link in my bio or in this video, and let's get you into the 6-week Chasing Greatness challenge. Let's see who you can become when you're committed, when you go all in and you do the fucking work. because I think you'll be shocked at who you can become and who you'll be on the other side. And I look forward to seeing you then. Until then.